From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, I'm Kylie Conway, and this is your News 8 Daily for Tuesday, August 1st. Expect a near normal and bright day to begin August. It's going to be gorgeous. Some hazy skies because of wildfire smoke. For parts of the state, it could impact air quality. Winds are going to be light on the east with highs in the mid-80s, and again, that lower humidity. A newly filed petition could delay Indiana's near-total abortion ban from taking effect today. The ACLU filed a request for the Indiana Supreme Court to rehear its challenge last night, hours before the ban was set to take effect. This petition delays the ban from taking effect while justices consider it because the court cannot certify its original ruling yet. We know that in June, justices lifted a county judge's order blocking the abortion ban, saying it doesn't violate the state constitution. A separate injunction blocking the ban on religious liberty grounds remains in effect. The ban includes exceptions for rape and incest, or to prevent death or irreversible physical impairment for the mother. The ACLU now wants the court to give it time to file a motion that targets the serious health risks exemption, arguing the court left open the possibility of a narrower legal challenge. Protesters in Bloomington rallied and held up signs yesterday that say, "I don't regret my abortion," while others had one saying, "Keep abortion legal." Those who came out to the rally said that they want to be heard loud and clear that abortion is a medical right. After the court's June ruling, the Right to Life president of Indianapolis, Mark Tuttle, released a statement saying, "This is a big victory in the fight to protect the life of unborn babies and to protect pregnant mothers from the often lifelong trauma of abortion." It's not clear how long it may take the justices to make a decision on the ACLU's request. The state's attorneys have 15 days to file a response. IMPD is asking for help finding a missing 17-year-old. We have her picture on wishtv.com, but police say Anaya Hannah was last seen Saturday on the northwest side. IMPD didn't give an exact location. Police say she may need some medical attention. Anaya is described as 5'5" with brown hair and brown eyes. If you see her, you're asked to call 911 or if you know where she might be. IMPD is also looking for a driver who may have caused an officer to hit a bicyclist. It happened yesterday afternoon near 10th and LaSalle on the Near East Side. IMPD says the officer had lights and sirens on while heading to a domestic violence call. Police say a driver tried to turn left as the officer was passing, forcing the officer to swerve into the bicyclist, critically injuring him. The officer gave aid until medics arrived. IMPD says the officer's body camera was on. The department asks anyone with information about the crash to call police. And police agencies in central Indiana and across the country are gearing up to host National Night Out. The decades-long tradition is aimed at promoting community relationships and neighborhood safety. IMPD is kicking it off by honoring the department's Community Crime Fighters of the Year. Then Chief Randall Taylor and other officers will head to several events across the city. Lawrence police say officers will visit 19 neighborhood events and block parties. Those are happening from 5 to 9 tonight.
A community was shaken to the core by violence. Words cannot express our deep grief and sympathy for the families of those involved.
From ITMA, leaders and community members in Muncie are mourning after a mass shooting. Police say the shooting at a block party Sunday morning left one man dead and 18 wounded. They say no arrests have been made. Police tell ITMA they're investigating how many shooters there may have been. They say between 500 and 1,000 people were at that party, and alcohol likely played a role. City officials say they're now creating a task force to regulate large parties that could lead to violence.
Can't have these kind of situations where these large gatherings of people get out of control. We want people to get together and have a good time. We're not the fun police.
A vigil is set for tonight to honor those hurt or killed. It's at Berea Church on Wheeling Avenue at 7 o'clock. Senator Todd Young is pushing for permanent tax breaks for Indiana racetracks. Right now, there's a law that Congress must renew each year in order to keep those tax breaks. Young says this would make that permanent.
People here are proud. It's a community. It's a whole bunch of families, and what we have here is very special, and I hope to keep it continuing for many, many, many years to come for my kids and my grandkids to enjoy.
That was Jonathan Bird you just heard from with the Indianapolis Speedrome general manager. He says it costs millions to keep up with the track and to get new scoreboards and grandstands, things of that nature. Congressman Andre Carson is one of the co-sponsors on the House version of the bill. So far, it's not gotten any hearings. The breakout star of the HBO hit series Euphoria has died. Angus Cloud was 25 years old. He came to fame after portraying drug dealer Fez O'Neill on Euphoria, having never acted before. To some, Cloud seemed so natural as Fez that they suspected he was identical to the character, a notion he pushed back against. Cloud's family says Cloud buried his father last week and was struggling with his loss. The family has not confirmed how Cloud died. Flowers and a red bow tie mark the Walk of Fame star for the late actor and comedian Paul Reubens. The actor, best known for his role as Pee Wee Herman, died yesterday. According to an Instagram post, Reubens privately fought cancer for years before his death. His last Pee Wee Herman movie, Pee Wee's Big Holiday, was released in 2016. Reubens was 70 years old. Today, a judge could decide whether to dismiss charges against a movie weapons supervisor in the fatal Rust set shooting. Hannah Gutierrez-Reed faces up to 3 years in prison if convicted of involuntary manslaughter. She's the sole remaining defendant in the case after prosecutors dropped the same charges against Alec Baldwin in April. Prosecutors have said Gutierrez-Reed drank and smoked marijuana the night before Baldwin accidentally fired the live bullet that killed cinematographer Helena Hutchins. Prosecutors now say a witness is prepared to testify. Gutierrez-Reed gave them a bag of narcotics after a police interview. Her attorneys accuse the prosecution of sloppy work and public grandstanding. Both sides are set to address the matter in an online hearing. An Idaho mother will spend the rest of her life in prison for the killings of her 2 children. Lori Vallow Daybell was sentenced to life without parole yesterday. In May, a jury found Daybell guilty of killing her 7-year-old son and 16-year-old daughter, as well as conspiring to kill her husband's ex-wife. Daybell claimed the children were zombies and was a goddess sent to usher in the apocalypse. Daybell's husband, Chad Daybell, is awaiting trial on the same murder charges. A new study shows as little as 1 alcoholic drink a day could increase blood pressure. Researchers published the study yesterday in the journal Hypertension. They looked at data from 7 studies around the world of more than 19,000 adults between 1997 and 2021. Researchers found even less than 1 drink a day produced a small rise in systolic pressure over an average of 5 years. They also found small amounts of alcohol raised diastolic blood pressure, but mostly in men. A late near miss from Portugal was all Team USA needed to secure a spot in the World Cup's round of 16. The team posted this morning saying, "Next stop, Melbourne." Team USA squeaked out the 0-0 draw against Portugal this morning, narrowly avoiding one of the biggest upsets in tournament history. The result moves Team USA and Netherlands out of Group E while eliminating Portugal and Vietnam. Team USA will now face the winner of Group G on Sunday, with the top spot of that group currently being held by Sweden. In Colts Watch, we're waiting to see whether running back Jonathan Taylor will be back at practice today. Taylor sat out yesterday amid reports of medical issues and a contract dispute. Today is Salute to Service Day at Colts training camp. Veterans and active service members will be at Grand Park to watch practice. Runs from 10 to 11:30 this morning. Colts City is open from 9 to noon. The first 500 fans to enter Colts City get a free player poster. And tonight is the next drawing for the $1.05 billion Mega Millions jackpot. It's tied for the 7th largest jackpot in U.S. history. A sole winner who opts for a lump sum payment would get about $528 million, or they can get annual payments of the full jackpot over 30 years. And to business headlines, apartments in the U.S. today are renting on average for less than they did a year ago. Apartment List says slowing demand and increasing supply compared to prior years has led to slowing rent growth this year. Despite July being a peak moving season where rent growth typically accelerates, apartment rent prices are down 0.7% year over year. However, Indianapolis area rent prices at the end of March were 7.7% higher than a year earlier, according to a new Harvard Joint Center for Housing Studies report, making this one of the only markets still experiencing skyrocketing rent growth. 61% of Americans say they are living paycheck to paycheck. The Lending Club report the number of Americans who say they're stretched thin has remained stubbornly high, despite recent signs that inflationary pressures are cooling. Lower-income workers have been the hardest hit by price spikes, particularly for food and other staples, since those expenses account for a bigger share of the budget. Many Anheuser-Busch distributors say they are resigned to their painful Bud Light losses. After 4 months of hiring freezes and layoffs, some beer truck drivers getting heckled and harassed even as Bud Light sales have dropped by more than 25%, Anheuser-Busch wholesalers have accepted that they have lost a chunk of their customers for good and need to focus on a new crop of drinkers. The company's sales are down after Bud Light hired a transgender activist to promote the brand. Instagram may start labeling posts that are generated by AI. Engadget reports its parent company Meta is looking to inform users of AI content to prevent the spread of bad information. And AMC just had its best week in history thanks to Barbie and Oppenheimer. AMC has been around since 1920. The Barbie-Oppenheimer duo has brought in about $1 billion worldwide so far. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 for Wish TV. I'm Kylie Conway, online at wishtv.com, and like us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.